5 AM club. Let's fucking go. Actually got up at 4:45 this morning. Just about to start an 8k easy run Friday. This is the penultimate run of the week. I've got 14k on Sunday at about a 4:45 pace, but once I've wrapped this up, I'm going to do a little bit of a rundown of my current training split in the gym and current split for running as well. So yeah, gonna get into it. Just wrapped up that 8k there, easy, just over 40 minutes. I think the pace was 5:43. So goal on these easy runs is to keep it aerobic. I don't even look at my heart rate anymore. I just know from doing a lot of zone 2 work this year that I'm in that aerobic zone. At that pace, I'm usually kind of mid 140 heart rate. So that's one of 4 runs that I'm doing per week at the moment. I'm gonna do a full explanation of my split in a second, but 2 easy runs at the moment, an interval run midweek, which is the only run that I'm really pushing myself on, to be honest, like trying to push some fast paces to build up that engine to be able to run a good half marathon time later on in the year. And then I have my long run on the weekend, which I'm running a little bit faster than usual, trying to hit about a 4:45 pace on those, but that's like an RP 6-7, so they're not that tough. But yeah, so this video I'm going to walk through a full upper body gym session that I did in Mallorca on Monday. Filmed the whole thing, going to go very in-depth, gritty on why I'm doing certain things, so that'll be for the people that love the kind of in-depth training knowledge. But now I thought I'd just run over my training split at the moment to provide a bit of context. So I'm running 4 times a week, as I just mentioned, and I'm going to the gym 5 times. I'm hitting heavy strength movements on 4 of those days. So current training split in the gym: Monday, upper body, horizontal push and pull focus, so chest and back. Tuesday, legs, squat dominant. Wednesday is a double day, so I'll do my run in the morning, and then I have another upper body session in the afternoon, which is vertical push and pull focused. Thursday, full rest day. I've played around with training every day and taking rest days, and I found that I'd rather double up on certain days and take a full rest day on Thursday. I find that my recovery is better. Friday, today, a hinge focused lower body session, so deadlifts with a run in the morning that I'm doing now. Saturday is a much lighter gym session focused on movement, and I usually do just a little bit of shoulders, some pull-ups and arms. So go to the gym 5 times a week, but 4 of them are intense. One of them is more of a movement-based session. And then for running, I do an easy run in the morning on a Monday. At the moment, that's between 10 and 12k. Wednesday, hard interval session, usually at a track, hitting splits of like, well, at the moment it's for time, so it's like between 10 and 20 minutes at my target half marathon pace. Friday at the moment is an easy run, but that will switch over to a speed session as we get deeper into this half marathon prep. And then Sunday is a long run, but the longest I've run on this prep so far is 14k, which isn't that far. But I'll do a full kind of screenshot of my training split on a blank page here, but I'm going to get into and explain the workout that I did on Monday. Okay, so onto the good stuff. This was an upper body horizontal pull and push focus training session that I did on Monday, a few days prior to that running clip you've just seen there. So this was at a CrossFit gym in Palma Old Town called CrossFit Portixol. Really sick gym. I would definitely train here regularly if I lived here. Very, very minimal though, obviously with a CrossFit gym, like basically no machines, all free weights, barbells, dumbbells, but for the style of training I do, this is totally fine. So I'm going to run you through the whole thing. So always start all my training sessions with movement mechanics and activation work. So we've got I think a 4 or 5 part mini circuit here. So basically, without getting too much into it, what I'm doing here is a hanging lunge. It's a really good dynamic movement to stimulate and lengthen the lats prior to this upper body training session. Obviously the first movement I'm doing in this workout is a barbell pendlay row, so it's essential that the lats are lengthened and activated. Obviously I train a lot, train heavy, so these muscle groups tend to tighten up. I do kind of suffer from that, I guess, rounded posture. So if you have tight lats, it's going to pull you into that kind of position where your shoulders round forward. So this is a really, really good movement to open those up. And basically the reason that I'm sending my legs in different directions is basically just to lengthen and load the muscles from different angles. Next one, into the classic scapular push-up. So I think it was just 6 to 8 reps here, pretty straightforward, just getting some scapular movement through. When I move on to doing incline dumbbell press, this is going to enable me to effectively retract my scapula and therefore get better pec activation, which is what we want in a chest workout. Next one was I don't even know what this is fucking called, a kneeling wall slide with dumbbells, I guess. Just focus on improving that overhead position. Although obviously we're not doing any vertical pressing or pulling in this workout, it's a really, really good one to do before you do pull-ups and overhead pressing, such as, you know, barbell overhead press or dumbbell press, whatever it is. So I think I did 6 to 8 reps of this. Obviously this, I've only filmed 1 round here, but I did 3 rounds of this in total. And then the last penultimate exercise was a ring face pull. I've never actually done these on rings before, but I much prefer them to the usual kind of rope face pulls. You can just get a much better range of motion, and you can get a lot wider as well, which is good. Obviously kind of emulating that position when you're going to be rowing and pressing later on in the workout. So it was 12 reps on this, so I got a decent pump prior to the actual training session, or the proper workout anyway. Last one, this looks really weird, but essentially what I'm trying to do here is get my pelvis into a posterior tilt. I suffer from an anterior tilt, so that's where you kind of stick your arse out. So this is a good movement to get yourself into that position, and obviously doing some pull-ups here as well. So just getting the lats fired up. With the feet being elevated, it does make it much easier than doing a normal pull-up. But this is all programmed by my own coach. It's very personalized to me and kind of the issues that I've had and have had going on for a while. But to be honest, I'm completely pain-free at the moment. This is just kind of keep me ticking over. And that workout, well, that warm-up will only take me probably 5 to 10 minutes at the start, so it's well worth doing. So main strength movement of this workout was a barbell pendlay row. Obviously I'm just warming up with the bar here. This is actually a barbell row, but obviously I'm not going to go all the way to the floor like you'll see here without weights on. So wave loading again today, similar to the previous video where we're doing 4 working sets, 10-5, 10-5, and the goal is to increase the weight on the same rep ranges each time. So you start overweight for 10 reps, increase the weight and do a heavier set of 5, and then you go back down but at a heavier weight than the first set of 10, and then you peak at a final set of 5. So it's a nice blend between strength and hypertrophy. So this was the first working set here, just a plate on each side. I think it was 15 kg plates, so this was 50 for like 7 or 8 reps, just getting into the movement. The reason that I do pendlay rows as opposed to barbell rows is I find once you start going heavier on a barbell row, the tendency to kind of like muscle the weight up increases. And basically what a pendlay row does is it forces you into a pretty much fully horizontal position, depending on obviously how tall you are. And it essentially just forces you to be more stricter with the movement. I actually took my trainers off here for the working sets, just because the trainers that I was wearing got a big heel, so it actually makes the range of motion greater, which makes the movement harder. So I'm in a more comfortable position here. And I would say if your gym allows you to go barefoot with these sort of exercises, then I always would. I do all my lower body training barefoot as well. If it's, you know, lunges, squats, deadlifts, you just get a far better, well, there's far more stability, which is obviously really important for doing lower body movement. So this was the first set of 10. I think it was 75 kg. And obviously the goal, as I mentioned before, with these working sets is to increase the weight each set. So that was probably only an RPE like 7, but it gets progressively harder as you build up the weight and peak towards the end of the 4 working sets. If you didn't know how to unload and then load a barbell, this is how you do it. But yeah, I think this would have been the first set of 5 here. I think that was at 80 kg potentially. I can't even remember. But yeah, I've absolutely loved pendlay rows. I never really used to do them too much before my coach programmed them for me, but they're just a really fucking badass movement. I've seen significant growth in my back, just overall thickness, and when you combine this with progressively overloading on deadlifts every week, like, you just do build a really solid back, kind of like mid back. And then I do a lot of pull-ups twice a week as well, which obviously helps develop those wings. Okay, so that's the first part of the workout done. Heavy pendlay rows, absolutely sick gym this. I'll get a video and do a tour. But CrossFit Port Tixall in Mallorca. But yeah, with the pendlay rows, 10-5, 10-5 wave loading. So started on 70 kg for 10, then it was 5 at 80, then 10 at 75, and then 5 at 85. First week of a new training block, so I'm going to try and add 1.25 kg to each side every single week for the next month. Should be doable. Still aiming to progressively overload even when I'm in a deficit. It is possible, especially with new rep ranges and new exercises. Well, it's not new, but I haven't done it for a while. But next part of the session is, it's like a big chest tricep. So I think there's some incline dumbbell in there, some offset push-ups and flies. So I'll video that. Right, so heavy strength movement out of the way, back absolutely smashed. Now moving on to the front. This was just a filthy chest tricep pump bonanza, absolutely disgusting. First movement of the tricep was incline dumbbell press. As you can see, they didn't have any incline benches, but it's really important that we build that upper chest shelf. So just elevated the bench with two, I think 20s underneath, just to hit the upper chest a little bit. Obviously this is the warm-up set, so I was hitting, what was it? It was a set of 6 to 8 reps on the incline dumbbell press, and then it was on to offset push-ups, which you'll see in a second, and then it finished with flies. So this was a heavy set of incline dumbbell. I think it was 30 kg. These were the heaviest dumbbells they had in the gym. My pushing strength surprisingly has actually improved in this cut, which is just unheard of, because usually you will lose pushing strength when you go into a deficit and you lose body weight, because it's very correlated with body weight pushing strength. But it's not just as simple as that. Like, I've focused really hard on fueling properly for my sessions throughout this dieting phase. My posture has massively improved as well, so that really helps me improve my pushing strength too. So really pleased with this. I'm excited to go into a reverse dieting phase after this cut, once I've got the photo shoot out the way, and start building some strength. And I reckon I can get my pushing strength back to where it used to be. It used to be my strong point when I was younger, but as I say, I've had some issues with shoulders and stuff, which I've always been kind of held back on. So 30 seconds rest, and straight into offset push-ups. I think it was 8 to 10 each side. You can't really tell from this angle, but an offset push-up is essentially where you've got one hand that's slightly higher than the other. So in this clip, the right hand is about, I would say, probably 4 to 5 inches high. You can see it here with the left. So 8 to 10 reps on each side, 20 in total. And like, doing this after a heavy set of incline press is absolutely brutal. And then again, another 20 to 30 seconds off, and then into incline dumbbell flies. And this was 20 reps. So I think I mentioned in my last video, I do work with a coach. He programs everything for me. It just allows me to go into the gym and just enjoy the session rather than thinking what I should do. But the sessions that he puts together for me are just absolutely filthy. So yeah, just to review, it was a heavy incline press, 6 to 8 reps. Then it was offset push-ups, 8 to 10 each side, and then incline dumbbell flies, 20 to 30 seconds break in between, and then took a 2 to 3 minute rest period in between each round, and then did 3 rounds. And then obviously got to finish the upper body training session with just a bit of a pipe pump. This is what happens when you get leaner. You just look so much bigger. Like, I'm the lightest I've been since I was about 16 years old. I think I'm weighing in at like mid 78s at the moment, but just looking so much more vascular than I have done for a long time. Really focus on the nutrition with this cut as well. So high carb intake relative to fats has allowed me to, it does allow me to replenish glycogen stores, and just makes me look full at all times, really. I did do a 10k run in the morning before this as well, but I probably had like at least 1500 calories and 250 grams of carbs in between the sessions. So as you can see here, just finished off with some dumbbell skull crushers, but really, really good session. I absolutely love getting in different gyms and just trying out new, well, not new training styles, but new training environments. So yeah, that was the session. So you'll have seen that upper body workout by now, but I just wanted to come on and give a short update on the Photoshoot prep that I'm doing. So less than 2 weeks now. Initially it was going to be a 10-week prep, but brought it forward by a week to 9 weeks just because I didn't want to go on holiday after being in a deficit for like 10 weeks straight, because I know that I'd probably just eat way too much food. So I'm going to have a week at maintenance calories between the photo shoot and when I go on holiday. And to be honest, like, my appetite is really good. I've probably only been hungry like 2 days out of the whole seven and a bit weeks that I've been doing this. So I really don't think I'm going to rebound. I'm actually really looking forward to controlling my own diet and just implementing some foods back in that I've missed. But I can confidently say that I'm definitely in the best shape I've ever been in. That goes for like actual physique. So I think I'm probably the leanest I've ever been. I've been very lean in the past, but I've never held it for more than like a week because it's just been down to chance where I've done loads of steps or loads of running, or I had a very clean 2 weeks of eating or something. But holding that condition, weighed in at 78.5 yesterday, which is absolutely mad. I can't remember the last time I was that light. And I'm really pleased with how I'm looking at that body weight as well. Like, if someone had told me I could get to 78.5, I would have told you that I'd be looking really, really skinny and I've lost loads of muscle mass. But I think I'm looking sick, if I do say so myself. And performance in the gym is pretty much held. Relative strength will definitely be up, so I might not be able to squat and deadlift as much as I could when I was 84 kilos, but that's to be expected. Running, obviously just absolutely flying now because I've been doing more of it, and also I'm running at a stone lighter than I was in January, so I'm just absolutely flying, and my recovery from the runs is so much better. I'm hitting like 45k weeks and I'm not even sore, whereas when I was heavier, between probably 83 and 84 and a half, my hips would be sore in between sessions, my ankles would be sore, calves would be sore as well. So that's kind of an update. But as I mentioned in my last video, we're not changing nutrition for the next 2 weeks for the photo shoot, apart from peaking a few days before, getting some more carbs in. And I think the only change we'll really be making is I'm going to consistently drive my steps up to probably almost 20k a day, which isn't that hard considering how much I'm running. And yeah, the only other change we'll need to make is probably just pulling running out for like half a week before, because you actually hold on to quite a lot of fatigue when you run and you hold on to water weight. So I don't want to be going into that photo shoot super watery. But again, like, the goal wasn't to come in like tight as fuck, absolutely shredded. It's just to get in the best shape ever that I've ever been in, and just set a bit of an example to clients and stuff, and show myself that I can do it. So yeah, that's the update. Weighed in at 78.5 yesterday. Not been this light since I was about 15.